This video has kindly been sponsored by CrowdScores, the app that allows you to chat with other fantasy football users and be notified of goals and assists from all your fantasy players. Download the app now using the link in the description.
Warning, this video contains team selection and captain choices which some viewers may find offensive.
Hey guys, and welcome back to FPL TV. Before we look to my transfers and team selection for Game Week 12, let's very quickly review how my team performed in Game Week 11. My free transfer last week was to finally switch my goalkeeper, so out went Hennessey and in came Fabianski, who ended up returning an abysmal 1 point at home to Burnley. Ironically, Hennessey managed an extra point away to Chelsea, but long term it should hopefully be the correct move, with West Ham having arguably the best run throughout the busy Christmas period. It was just the 9 points between my defence this week, with no clean sheets, but a very welcomed assist from Alonso. That's the second assist in 2 games for Alonso, who now faces Everton and Fulham at home in the next 3, so no concerns with him at the moment. The big positive of my game week was owning Raheem Sterling, as he went on to rack up a massive 21 points against Southampton. The negative, however, was painfully not captaining the informed winger. On the morning of the deadline, it was a 50-50 decision between him and Mo Salah. And with slight fears of rotation, and with me expecting lots of goals in the Liverpool-Arsenal game, I regretfully made the wrong call here. Lately, I seem to always be on the wrong side of these 50-50 choices, but at least I own Sterling, who single-handedly saved my game week. Up front, Arnautovic did the business for me, and I'm happy to own the Austrian for the long term now. But Roberto Firmino, on the other hand, has been a really poor signing, who's simply playing far too deep and not scoring even in the easier fixtures. All of this meant my hopes rested on Mitrovic for Monday Night Football, and he capped off my game week in typical fashion with a woeful performance and a yellow card to boot. Great stuff. Fulham are in dreadful form at the moment, and with Liverpool away up next, it looks to be the ideal time to drop the out-of-form target man. So for Game Week 11, it's yet another underwhelming game week unfortunately, with a final score of 56 and the captain blank really costing me. On the positive side, it was still above average, and it takes my total to 697, but painfully it's another red arrow and a drop in rank to 71k. So let's move on to Game Week 12 now, as I look to finally get back to winning ways and moving up those rankings. And if you're enjoying the content here at FPL TV, then be sure to support the channel by dropping a like and getting subscribed. If you're currently following me on Twitter, you'd know that there's one confirmed transfer already made for my side this game week, with the out-of-form Mitrovic finally making way. He's a player I've owned since Game Week 1, but with his stats regressing significantly, and with Fulham in general being completely out of form, it was time to say an emotional goodbye. To me, this seemed an obvious move this week, but what wasn't obvious was his replacement, with Callum Wilson, Glenn Murray and Raul Jimenez all strong contenders to take his place. Callum Wilson has the form, Glenn Murray has the fixtures, and Raul Jimenez has the exceptional value to free up some funds. After much deliberation, in the end I opted for Wilson, who despite having a tough run of upcoming fixtures, has a big ownership of 33%, and I think having him covered may just help stop my run of red arrows. He also boasts exceptional stats to back up his goal-scoring form, with 35 penalty area touches in the last 4 game weeks. That's top among all forwards, producing 13 goal attempts in that time. So with Newcastle, Arsenal and Huddersfield in 3 of his next 4 games, I still fancy his chances in the next few weeks. So with that transfer confirmed, here's how my team is now shaping up for Game Week 12, and if there's any further changes, I'll be sure to post updates on the FPL TV Twitter page. Fabianski remains between the sticks against the goal-shy Huddersfield, with Alonso and Alexander-Arnold both boasting decent-looking home fixtures. There's always that risk that Trent could miss out, but I'm just remaining hopeful, and I may look to offload him after this game week. Matt Doherty faces a tough trip away to Arsenal this game week, so no clean sheet is expected there, but on current form he could always produce some attacking returns. My 3 big hitters in midfield, Hazard, Sterling and Salah, all boast home fixtures this game week, so for the money I'm paying for them, I'm expecting big things. Don't let me down, lads. Fraser then completes the 4-man midfield, and also has a fairly decent fixture away to Newcastle. Up front, new signing Wilson gets a run out against the Newcastle side who have conceded the most goal attempts in the box at home this season, seemingly perfect for Bournemouth's informed poacher. Elsewhere, Arnautovic has what looks to be a very nice fixture against Huddersfield in Game Week 12, but let's hope they haven't turned a corner after their clean sheet against Fulham last weekend. And last and most likely least, Roberto Firmino is in last chance saloon for my side. Many have already dropped the deep lying forward, but I simply couldn't get rid before this home fixture against Fulham, so if he's ever going to score, it has to be in this one. As for the captaincy, I simply don't have the strength to stress over who gets the armband this week. It was always going to go to Mo Salah against Fulham, and it always will be. There are some talks that there's a threat of rotation, but if you're not going to captain Salah at home to Fulham, then when are you ever going to captain the £13 million man? And with his opponents already conceding 29 goals this season, we're all hoping for a goal fest. Here's a quick preview of my bench this game week, with Wan-Bissaka taking the first position. If Trent Alexander-Arnold should miss out, then the budget Crystal Palace man will take his place with a home fixture against Tottenham. So that wraps up my team selection video for another game week. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and wish me luck that I can find a green arrow in the rankings for a change. Good luck to all of you watching for Game Week 12, FPL responsibly, and I'll catch you all next week.